Hey there, and today I'm going to talk about everything breast pumps, and I'm going to go through all of the really popular kinds that are out there. You have the electric breast pump, the one that your insurance usually provides. I'm going to talk about the most popular one that I see people using, and then I'm going to touch base on the manual pump, the one that you squeeze. This one. This is the one that I had with not my last baby, but my second to last baby. And then I'm also going to cover portable breast pumps. So I'm just going to brain dump everything for you today. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that I've had 6 children and I've breastfed all of them. I've had to supplement with my older ones. And then my last 2 were exclusively, so my last baby, Sarah, she's 3 years old. I breastfed her exclusively until 18 months, and I'm currently breastfeeding my 7 month old. And so my sister, she did just have her baby. Her baby is not even a week old, and she messaged me. I told her which one to say to get for the insurance. This one I really liked. I mean, I remember back in the day, they were just dinosaurs. Do you remember that? They were just massive, plugged into the wall. They were just crazy. But this is the one that I got with my last baby. Actually, I got this with Sarah too. And then this is the one I wanted for Simon as well, the Zomi ZM2. So I told her, go ahead and get that one. But then she messaged me and she was like, how do I set this thing up? I guess hers all came in pieces. I can't remember if mine did too or if it kind of came assembled. But I'm going to kind of walk you through this one. So the duct, they call this a duct, goes in here. And then I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little ring. I don't want to pull that out, but it pulls out by the tab there. It's kind of tricky. You want it in there snug, right? So that fits in there. You can see where that is. This goes in there, right? So then you put this doohickey in here. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's a name for it. This, if you kind of like start at an angle, it turns down. You want the cord to come out this way. And so you're going to kind of have to play with it a little bit. I don't know if you can kind of see that it's off to the side. And then, so that's where this plugs in, right? There you go. And then let's see. I don't have the bottom part, but the bottom part screws right on. Now, this plugs in here. Now, this thing is it looks daunting if you've never used it before, but the M stands basically for like the different flows, basically. So you hold the on button. You got that light. I think it goes from light to long, light to like a lighter pump to a heavier flow. So just pick the one. This is the hardest one. And then I would always, once your breasts have built up enough stamina, you can go all the way to the 9. I mean, 1 would do nothing for me. But you start where you're comfortable with, probably at a 1 or a 2, whichever pump you like better. I liked the third one. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I liked the third one best. There's a night light on it, which is kind of nice. And then also, I don't know if you saw this, probably not. There's a timer as well. So then you know how long you're timing. That eventually turns over to a number. That's how you use this one. Every time you're done using this, every week I would probably take everything apart and wash it thoroughly. I've not researched myself how to do it, but warm water and vinegar, that's generally okay. Probably even soap. Just make sure you rinse it really well. But personally for me, I did vinegar and hot water. You might want to research that and see if the vinegar is okay. I'm sure it is. I will look it up here for you. Just take Just take everything apart, rinse this. That's just hard water stains. Take it off, run some water through this, set it down, rinse it off. You're going to want to let water run through here. You don't need to take everything apart. I mean, maybe once a week you can to thoroughly wash it, but just, in between each breast pump during the week, I would just run water through it. That's actually what I did. And then just once in a while, once a week, depending on how much you use it, wash it, more thoroughly. So that is the Zomi ZM2. That's well, I guess it's not really electric, but I would call it electric, even though it's not. Yes, there is a charger as well. It comes with a charger. And when I called Milk Moms, I had to contact them for some reason. They said this was the most popular brand as of lately. But do you remember those massive Medela ones? Comment below if you're one of the moms like me who do remember using those. So then I want to talk a little bit about the manual pump. Now, I actually don't have it in this box. I have all the accessories in here, but I don't know where the actual pump is. I loved it. I do have the box, though. That's pretty amazing, right? That I have the box. I loved this when I first got it because, like I said, well, I had never seen one like this, right? So that Medela pump, you couldn't bring that with you. So I ended up getting this one with Sarah. She's 3 years old, but I did get this when I was nursing with her. And then, I mean, it gets a really good suck on your breast. It gets a really good, you can really attach good with that. And it was amazing. But I don't know. Well, actually, I'm breastfeeding now. What am I saying? Yes, I do know. The reason I don't have one of these now is because of my portable pump that I am going to show you here in a second. I actually don't even really use this one because, you have to sit and hold it. There are those holsters that you can buy. But, I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to do that. And so I don't really use this one anymore. I will share with you the one that I like the best, that I use most often now. But a very good suction with this. I love that it's portable, and like especially if I was out shopping, I could like drive and relieve some pressure. But I was amazed at the latch this thing got and how it actually worked. But the one that I really love is one that I picked up from Amazon. I can try to link it below. So there's this, yeah, I got it from Amazon. It was like $30, which is kind of expensive to me. It came with 2, so that's good. So like $15 a thing, that's not bad, is it? Got to make sure this is on here. Go all the way around. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm going to back up. This also comes with, you can see in there, it comes with one of those duct things. I like this because there wasn't so many like gall darn pieces, right? It was just that one, and then you got to make sure that this is pretty snug. You can put this on. There's a little lip here, so you have to like line it up. It's kind of a thing, Not my most favorite thing to do, but make sure that's on there, right? It comes with a little motor right here, see? And it looks a lot like the other one. So you got, this is like your different, this is turning it on. These are your set, how to turn it up and down. So then when it's like on your breast, right? You want to have basically it upside down so that they face you, right? So like I'm looking down at it, I turn it on. So like you want to kind of push it in there. I'm not really doing it, but you can hear, right? So it's facing you. You put it on your breast, and then you can see it. You can turn it up. You can turn the thing. I like the hardest one, and then I go all the way up to 9. Yeah, I do love this one. I got this on Amazon. It came 2 in a pack, so there's 2 of these, and I don't use them both at the same time. You just stick them right in your bra, by the way, and so your bra really helps it hold in there. I really do like that. So you can go hands-free. I mean, I can do dishes with this. I like how I can drive with it. I can get ready, do all my stuff while this is just sitting in my bra. And I don't do both of them at one time, although you could. I just, then I alternate with charging these. Um, and I don't think I've even used this other one. I do have the box. I should have gotten the box out, but my baby is napping. Now, I exclusively breastfeed my son, Simon. He's 7 months old. At 5 months old, I started blending up food just to see if he could tolerate it. Well, he could tolerate it. So at the end of 5 months, he's been starting to eat, right? So my milk, he's not exclusively breastfed anymore, but he's never had formula. I want to touch base really quick on why you would pump, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom and you exclusively breastfeed. Well, this is the deal. If you are ever engorged, you could pump, and you should pump if you're engorged or if you're feeling pain. Or this kind of goes along with that. If your baby only nurses on one side and then doesn't nurse on the other side, because he's full from the one side and the other side is full, I would pump that. Um, so that's why I do that. And actually, I don't even use this one anymore. I always use the portable one because then I can be up and moving and doing things. Like I said, there is a holster for this. Maybe it's not even that expensive. I've never looked into it just because, it's more stuff. And I don't like more stuff, right? I don't know if you're like that. But I actually don't even really use this one. But this one does have a better suction than this one. I think this one maybe is actually getting wore out a little bit. Um, or maybe I should read up. I still have the manual. But you have to make sure this is really pushed in here, so maybe that's why I'm not getting the best suction, or maybe there's another reason. I'm not sure. But for me, it gets the job done. Baby can always suck better than a pump, right? And so, that's just a given. Babies can always get it better than the pump can. But for me, since my milk is in so good, and all of that, it does the job for me. Now, I also wanted to touch base on storing the milk. Like I said, I'm home full time. I'm not working. I don't need to actually pump all that much. I pump mainly for two reasons. If I'm gone shopping or whatever and I get engorged, or I'm away from my baby and I know he's at home and he's eaten, then I'll pump just so that I stay on track, so that I keep my milk coming in. Or if I'm engorged, right? So those kind of go hand in hand. But this is kind of what I do because I'm at home. Okay, so I am exclusively breastfeeding, like I said. So I really don't pump all that much, and I really don't get that much milk because he's already drank, right? And so this is actually what I pumped here not too long ago. He didn't eat on the other side, and so I pumped. And I actually didn't get that much because he probably drained it really good the last time I fed. So what I do is I keep two bottles. These come in like a 4-pack at Walmart. Just they were cheap. But this is the deal. You don't want to mix warm milk with cold milk. And so what I did is I put this in here, right? And I will just kind of keep this in the fridge and just kind of keep and keep filling it. And then once I get it fuller, then I will go and transfer it to a bag. This is a Lanzano bag. You can get them at Walmart, or you can order them, I'm sure, in bulk. A lot of people probably do that. And so, yeah, you put warm milk in one, and then, the next time you go, if this is full from the last time, like it's cooling, dump this one into here, put the warm stuff in here. You don't mix warm with cold. And then when this gets, to be like, a full bag amount, then you can go and transfer it into the bag and then put it in the freezer. Why is it handy to have milk in the freezer? Because if you're gone and dad needs to feed the baby or someone else needs to feed the baby, they can go ahead and feed your baby. Now, I do just want to say that, okay, I've had 6 kids, so I've landed on the best bottle. I've tried all the bottles. sorry if I disagree with you, but I actually have landed on the Dr. Brown's one. There's a vent in there that helps vent out the air. Maybe other people have had other luck with, other bottles, but I have not. I've tried them all, thrown the ones that didn't work. I've just lasted on this one. Pro tip: when you nurse a baby, just always stay with the newborn nipple. I have never, with Sarah and Simon, both of my children that have with Sarah and Simon, my two that exclusively breastfed, I stayed a newborn nipple all the way until they were done nursing. Just because, if you think about it, when you breastfeed, you have to work a little bit to get it. And so I never upped the nipple size for them. I'm sure you could. I mean, it won't hurt nothing, but it never hurt me it never hurt me or my children just to stay at the newborn nipple. And you can see here, oh, this one says 1. So I don't know if 1 is the first one or if N is the first one, but either way, I guess maybe I went up, or maybe the first newborn nipple is a 1. I don't know. So this one says 1. We don't use it that much because my little Simon, he's eating food. And so if he's getting hungry, they'll just go feed him something, and that'll hold him off until I get home. If I'm out on the go and I use that portable one, like I said, I like to carry this along with me. By the way, I use like a 31 bag, like a 31 lunch bag for my Zomi, for my portable pump, this one that I got from Amazon, right? And then I also put these glass jars. I can link these below as well. I got these on Amazon. They're really easy to they're just easier than the bags, like if you need to empty this portable thing, it's easier just to open up your car door and and dump it in, and it's doesn't make as big of a mess. And then when you get home, you could either add it, I would probably add it to the empty one, let it cool off, and then mix it with the other one, because it might not be cool, the lunch cooler might have kept it warm. But there you go. That's a pretty exhaustive video on all of the pumps that I've used. Comment below if you have any questions. Like I said, 6 kids. I've been through the whole breastfeeding nursing thing, and my last 2, I really got really super smart with them. Comment below if something wasn't unclear in this video that you're wondering about, or if you have another question. I would just love to make that video for you. Also, if you're a new mom and all things baby, whatever, comment below. I would love to come alongside you, and that's what this is for, because every mama should have a mama who's been there. Like and subscribe to this video. I'm here for you. And until next time, bye for now.